Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Ambassador. We are very delighted to partner with Global Affairs Canada on this program, and welcome those of you who attended the morning session. And I'll say a few words about what we discussed this morning, but certainly I wanted to extend a welcome to all of you who are coming for the afternoon discussion. So I lead the center called the Center on Public Diplomacy. So public diplomacy, this term, was coined 50 years ago by distinguished American diplomat Edmund Gulan. So obviously, over the last 50 years, this practice has evolved, has expanded tremendously. And the topic that we're discussing this afternoon, digital diplomacy and evaluation, is one of those animating trends and developments that we're witnessing in recent times. There's greater emphasis on evaluation and accountability in public diplomacy efforts. How do we evaluate impact? How do we assess effectiveness and efficiency of our programs? And these questions have been taken far more seriously these days by many foreign ministries. But in general, we are still not doing a very good job in analyzing and evaluating our work. And even though when we agree that it's important for us to establish evaluation standards, we oftentimes have disagreements on what these criteria, what should be the criteria, and contest various criteria. It is very true that this line of work often defies easy categorization, and it resists, abstraction. And it's very difficult to capture fully the endeavor in public diplomacy, whether it's in advocacy campaigns or in cultural diplomacy activities. However, what we can do is that through a thoughtful exploration of the data that are available to us to help us to make better decisions or to help us to bolster our confidence in whatever the work that we have done that may have contributed to the success of our efforts. So this research program, this research problem is one of the priority research areas at the Center on Public Diplomacy. What we intend to do is to conceptualize public diplomacy evaluation as an integral part of strategic communication, strategic planning. And we hope to develop tools that will assist those of us who do public diplomacy work on a day-to-day basis for us to be able to evaluate digital campaigns and cultural diplomacy activities. And this morning's discussion featured 4 cases from the UK, from Italy, from Canada, and from the EU. And all 4 of them touched on digital campaigns or campaigns in general with a significant digital component. And I think that we generally discussed and kind of agreed that successful advocacy efforts in this digital age depend on the creation of a culture of risk-taking in foreign ministries. And it also depends on developing a robust global digital network, and also depends on building staff capability through sustained training. And I believe no public diplomacy practitioners of the future, and indeed communication practitioners in general, can be effective without some sensitivity to a knowledge of data. Therefore, data and research literacy is fundamental in our effort going forward. And at the same time, we cannot limit our questions to available data. The issue is how we draw together available information into accounts and insights. It is about mediating the dynamic confluence between a generalized understanding made possible by big data and an intimate knowledge afforded by small data, or some people call it deep data. And I look forward to the discussion this afternoon, the 2 panel discussions that will be exploring and looking into these issues. How do we monitor data, and how do we evaluate data to translate that into strategic planning? So with that, I'll turn it to you.
A tall order.